This is the Avengers Infinity Quest pinball machine made by the manufacturer Sterns and available in the UK from Pinball Heaven, who are the country's largest pinball distributor. I'm just going to talk you through a few of the game's features, some of the shots, and there are some really, really good shots, by the way, and just tell you a little bit about the game. And if you're very unlucky, you might even get to see me play it a little bit later, and I do pre-warn you, I'm a terrible pinball player. For those of you that don't know, this game comes in 3 different varieties, let's say. This is the Pro version, then you have the Premium version, and the top of the range, the Limited Edition. What are the difference between them? Well, the Limited Edition has a yellow powder coating where you can see here this black brushed metal. Aesthetically, they have some different artwork on the side, but I actually love this one. I think this artwork on the Pro version is the best out of the lot. Various different translights, different pictures on there, but the 2 main differences are an underground subway in which the ball travels through, which is on the Premium and the LE version. That's not on this version. And also there's a ramp in the section here where you have the Captain Marvel loop. Now, personally, I've never played the Limited Edition or the Premium version, so I guess what you haven't had, you can't miss. And I really like this because this machine has an awful lot of what's known in the pinball fraternity as flow. What's the flow? Well, it's the way the ball travels around and comes back to the flippers and basically travels around in circular motions, going up the ramps and coming back down. There's not a lot of stop and start on this game, which I personally love. What that also makes for is a very, very fast game. Make no mistake about it, this is the fastest game, certainly, that I've ever played. The ramps are ferocious. They're all at the back of the playfield, again, which is something I like because it makes for a long shot, as opposed to something like Monster Bash, for instance, where a lot of the shots are very close to you and you have a very populated playfield. This is very open. Lots of long shots, lots to play, which, if you're sort of limited in ability like me, gives you half a chance and the ball's travelling back down the playfield to try and rescue the ball with a save or a nudge or something like that. This, in terms of the depth of the game, is a very, very complicated machine. When I say it's complicated, it's a deep rule set. What's a deep rule set on a pinball machine? It's just a couple of steel balls and some flippers, right? How complicated can it be? Well, these modern machines with their complex CPUs, the LCD screen, are every inch the modern game based on the traditional arcade machine, which you may be familiar with. And because of that, there are lots of modes, lots of side missions, lots of different multi-balls and things that you can go on and do. And with this one, there is an extensive rule sheet and book that you can actually go through and learn all the different modes. In many respects, the perfect machine for a home environment because it really is going to have that lastability factor. As I say, I've had it for 6 weeks. I do get the feeling I could have this for over a year and still be learning new things, finding out new things about the machine. If you want a machine just to plug in and go and not read any of the rules and just look at the lights and start hitting shots and making progress initially, then you're probably better off with an Attack from Mars, a remake from Pinball Heaven or something like that. If you want something to last a long time, something that's going to be difficult but rewarding, then I would certainly recommend this game. It's got some really very innovative features. It's been designed by a former world champion, or maybe even a current world champion. You can tell that this machine has been designed by an expert. From the drop targets on the left to the Hulk spinner, which is an orbit shot which travels around the playfield. There's this wonderful kinetic spinner which actually activates and accumulates points whether you hit it left or right. That's really, really innovative, and something that I really like and really catches the eye is this magnetic ball lock here, which is, rather than a virtual ball lock, it is actually locking the ball up in the magnet. It will drop it down and then enable you to hit the ball from the 3rd flipper. Yes, this machine has a 3rd flipper on the left-hand side, which will enable you to hit the ball halfway up the playfield, and maybe, if you're skillful enough, stop the ball from actually getting down to the bottom flipper. And you can actually play quite a lot of this game in the top half of the playfield if you're skillful enough and if you so choose. There is an absolutely wonderful looping shot here, which is the Captain America shot, which goes up past the pop bumpers. Fantastic flow on that and comes back to the flippers very, very quickly. But the real centerpiece and something I really love about this game are the 2 ramps. The center ramp, either either side of the naughty and sinister looking Thanos there, as you might see. The centre of the ramp, which runs up some wire forms and comes back down to the left flipper, and just by the gauntlet here is this wonderful sort of bulged, elongated ramp on the right-hand side, this metal ramp. Now, this really is extremely innovative because this ramp is actually hittable from all 3 flippers, which is why it has this bulbous middle section here. Absolutely wonderful shot. Again, travels back down the wire form, down to the flipper, where you can actually repeat that shot over and over again. I really love that. I mentioned the loop shot earlier, the Captain Marvel loop shot, and then the Black Panther orbit. This is a very, very different orbit to other machines because the orbit travels around the back of the playfield and goes up a wire form, then travels all the way back down and goes to the right flipper. I mean, really, really good. There are some other smaller shots. You've got Ant-Man shot, which is just there, as I mentioned, to drop targets earlier on. And one thing I really do like about this game, it sounds silly, but a lot of people do tend to, for want of a better word, pimp their machines and put extra lighting in there. This actually comes with some 2 lights which are just above the flipper, each flipper there, which just give it an extra sort of level of illumination, particularly if if like me you're struggling to follow the ball on some of these games half the time. It has a button here. Now, this button is a feature within the game. It's a bit risk reward. You press this and it will allow you to select separate modes when you're in a dead area of play, when you are selecting something from the screen here, but also during gameplay you can hit that for extra reward. There's a risk to it though, because you have to take your hands off the flipper buttons, and I guess it's a bit like riding a bicycle with no hands. There's a certain amount of risk to it, and you know the risk is you may well lose the ball because you take your hands off the flippers. The reward is you'll score some extra points. The theme speaks for itself. It's the Avengers. If you're familiar with the films, if you're familiar with Marvel, then they're going to need no introduction at all. You are the Avengers. You're the good guys. You're battling the mighty Thanos, let's say, who's hell bent on destruction of the universe, or at least half the people in it. You will take on and collect, as you may well see. There's a lit section in the middle of the playfield where you can actually collect the Avengers. You'll see with the beautiful artwork itself, Captain America and Iron Man and Hulk are just some of the characters you can be, or should I say, that's probably Steve, Tony and Bruce for that less sinister sound. You've also got other people like the Black Widow and Thor, of course, Black Panther. I mean, it's packed full of them, and as you progress through the game, you will enter different modes, which will then have you taking on Thanos and the dastardly Black Order. Anyway, let's take a little look at the gameplay, shall we? Okay, let's have a quick game.
I will allow you to reconsider your course.
There we go. Right, we're just going to have just a standard game here. Just hit the ball around, give you an idea of the shots and the flow of the game. This is a great game for combinations, by the way. You know, that's a series of shots linked into one another. Great little ramp there, as you see. It will go straight down the wire form afterwards. Lost the ball. There we go, of course, as is standard for me. I'm not the best of players, truth be known. Press both flipper buttons, it will take you through, and you can launch the ball again. Okay, so I've got a lock then. Super skill shot.
Trophy collected.
You collect numerous trophies along the way. I mean, there are so many trophies to collect, it's unbelievable. Great little ramp shot there. You can actually hit it off that left flipper. Keep doing it if you want, or if you're skilled enough, which clearly I'm not. Great little loop off of there. Okay, what I did was I hit the captive ball then, which is basically like a Newton ball, and it's instigated Thor multi-ball. Now, Thor multi-ball is a 2-ball multi-ball, and it's probably the easiest multi-ball to get in the game. It's relatively easy. Well, it's relatively easy to get it, to actually keep the balls alive. Not quite so much. That spinner there's crazy. The kinetic spinner. Okay, we've got a ball lock here now. On the screen, I'm going to choose who I want to battle. We'll go with Space Gem Quest. I press the button in the middle of the lock bar to select that, and I've got 4 combos, so I've got an award for that. The lights, as ever, are going to tell you where you should be hitting the ball. In a moment, that bar is going to drop and release the ball. If I want to do it earlier, I can press both flipper buttons, and there you go. So it's quite clear what it wants me to do. Whether I can do it's another matter entirely. Tried to give the machine a cheeky nudge, but unfortunately wasn't quite able to try and manipulate the ball into the in lane rather than the out lane. So final ball of the game. Hopefully you're getting a little bit of a feel for how the game plays. Great number of shots, very fast, as I'm sure you've noticed already. Great loop shot that. If you go, it's basically you go via the Hulk spinner, which is the shot furthest left, just past the drop target. It's such a fast and rewarding shot. Okay, we've got another lock, which is going to allow me to choose again. So I'll go Power Gem Quest, which is a battle involving Hulk. I never know whether it's Bruce or David Banner, whichever one, but he's very angry. Don't make him angry, that's the point. I've got to be honest, this game is lasting a little longer than my normal efforts, has to be said. Super Gauntlet Award. Alas defeated at the last.
You're making Hulk angry.
Oh.
Bring the gem to me.
There we go. And not a bad effort at all. And there you go, that's just a very, very quick game of Avengers Infinity Quest. And there you have it, Avengers Infinity Quest. This game is completely customizable, so if you're an absolute expert at it, you can set the legs high, you can set the back legs high, the front legs down, you can have it really tilted and angled so you get an even faster game. Set to 3 balls with no extra ball, then that's fine. If, like me, you're a bit of a novice and a little bit rubbish at pinball but thoroughly enjoy it, then set it to a 5-ball game with extra balls switched on, and it's just a wonderful game, full of flow. As I say, it's available from Pinball Heaven in the UK. The website is linked in the description below. Please do go and check it out. What I would also say on this game as well is that there is a wizard mode, and a wizard mode is something whereby as you progress through the levels, it's like on an arcade game trying to get to the boss level. The one on here is called the Battle Royale, is one of the wizard modes on here. Now, certainly for someone like myself, I'm nowhere near good enough yet after 6 weeks of gameplay to get to that mode. on my own Steam. However, there's a cheat which I really do like, and that's if you hold down both flipper buttons, it'll allow you to skip all the hard work and go straight to that battle royale. And it really is a fantastic mode, because you take all the Avengers and then you're taking on all of Thanos' Black Order. And it doesn't matter how many times the ball drains. It doesn't matter. You keep fighting them until one of the two teams win. And in fact, at the end of this video, what I'll do is I'll link a video of myself playing just purely that battle royale. So if you want to click on the link at the end of the video, you can get a little bit of feel for exactly what that does. Well, there you have it. This is the pro version of the Avengers Infinity Quest by Stern. Please do check it out and have a look when you're on the website at Pinball Heaven. Lots and lots of other pinball machines and plenty more to come.